Welcome to your Quick Daily Ministry with Devin. I'm so blessed to have you here today. Gotta be honest, wasn't even doing it how me and my uncle said that I should do it. I was just saying my notes, and now that makes obviously no sense. but now I know how we were gonna do it. It's just me summarizing it. So if you haven't read today, or if you already did, I'm gonna just be talking about what you should focus on, or if you already read, what you should go back and make sure that you notice about this chapter, these multiple chapters. But we are obviously in Genesis, and we're going to get straight into it. So, the Lord saw Noah was righteous alone from all the people. He saw that he was righteous alone from all the people on earth. Now, imagine if God came to you and said, well, he didn't say it to him, but he obviously told him to get his family. But what did he do? The Lord saw that he was righteous out of everyone on earth. Imagine just knowing that you were separated from everyone on earth because how righteous you were in God's eyes. So, what did he do to Noah? He told him to get his family and get 7 pairs of every animal. Well, each animal that he has approved of eating and for sacrifice. So, male and female, because, obviously we have to have a male and a female to populate. So, and for sacrifice for God. And he said also take 7 pairs of every kind of bird. He said, from 7 days from now, I will pour down on the earth. So, and he said it will rain for 40 days and 40 nights until I have wiped everything from earth and all living things I have created. So, what did he do? Noah did exactly what the Lord commanded him to do. But in my Bible, I don't know why it doesn't talk about it. But, no, Noah wasn't selfish. He was trying to tell everyone what was going down, and he was trying to save as much people as he could. Because obviously, he knew that God was the only one that told him about this. No one else told him. Well, no one else was told by God. And that was probably another reason why God saw him righteous. And what? On the 17th day of the 2nd month, it started to rain mighty torrents from the sky. Well, waters erupted from the earth and mighty torrents of rain from the sky. So that day, Noah and his wife, his son, every animal, and male and female of each kind entered just as God commanded Noah. And this is something I thought was cool. Was then the Lord, imagine this, they didn't have no technology back then. The Lord closed the door behind them. Man, I would have been dancing my little butt off. But we're gonna keep going. So, what happened? The water covered the highest peaks, the highest mountains, and was even 22 feet above the highest peaks. Oh, nah, I'm different. Oh, I just be flying in a helicopter. Nah. No, you ain't. That thing, the ark, was the only way of survival if you were a living thing on the ground. And everything that breathed and lived on dry land died. So, the only things that survived were on the ark that God told Noah to get. And guess what? Everything Noah did, trying to save everyone. The only people that survived was Noah, his 3 sons, Noah's wife, and his son's 3 wives. Not each of them having 3 wives. There was 3 wives in total. So God remembered. Alright, so the flood covered earth for 150 days. That is almost what? That's almost 1/2 of the year. If you do 150 plus 150, that's 300. So, God remembered Noah and all the wild animals and the livestock. So he sent the wind to blow across the earth and recede all the water. But it wasn't instantly like, if he did that, Noah would have probably died. Well, probably not because, God's protecting them, so God would have just, So, the underground water stopped, and so did the rain from the sky. So it slowly, gradually recedes from the earth. So after 150 months, I mean, not 150 months, 150 days, it rested on the mountains of Ararat. And what is that? That is 300 days now. That's almost a whole year. That's three-fourths of a year. So now, 2.5 months later, the water was still going down, but the mountain peaks were visible. And after releasing birds to find them. All right, so I'm about to go all the way off, so I need to stop myself. So imagine, so why did God see him so righteously? God saw that Noah was the only one that was righteous for the Lord because he was following him. Obviously, that's what God was. Well, we don't know what God's definition is. I got to stop myself from saying that of righteous, but you could see why he was picked because who's gonna sit there for a whole 300 days just like eating and all that stuff, not being able to go outside for a whole 300 days? Man, I don't know. Like, and I would have been surprised if God told me that, but now we ain't got to worry about that because God promised us with the rainbow. So you can see that Noah did all this stuff, and you can see why he was chosen. So guess what? Oh yeah, and if you were lukewarm and you were on that boat, I bet you started believing in God then. I bet you did. I bet you would have. That's what I meant to say. Because there's no one else on there. But 2.5 months later, what is that? That is a whole year now and a half. The water was still going down to all the mountain peaks were visible, and Noah released birds from windows that he made. And yeah, from windows that he made. And 2 more months went by, and that is a total of a year and a half. A year and a half, the earth was dry. That was a whole, not a year and a half, a year and a half a month. So a year and 15 days, depending on which month. So, or 16 days, I don't know why I'm all the way off. But he built, after all of this stuff, Noah remembered that God wanted his sacrifice, and he built, as soon as they were out, he built the altar to the Lord, and he sacrificed the burnt offerings for the animals and the birds that had been approved of. So, the Lord was pleased with the aroma, the scent, and said to himself, I won't curse the ground because of the human race as long as the earth remains. So no matter what happens with it, because of us humans, that God will never do the flood again, won't ever harm us with any type of anything. And God blessed Noah and his family and made a covenant saying every single time you see the rainbow, that is a promise that God made that he won't ever flood the earth again with flood waters. And also, we're going to get straight into this. Well, we won't get into this, but he said, so this is like before Jesus and all that, I already talked about it. He said, God said this, I will require the blood of anyone who takes another person's life. If a wild animal kills a person, it must die. Anyone who murders a fellow human must die. If anyone takes a human's life, that person's life will also be taken by humans' hands. For God made human beings in his own image. Now be fruitful and multiply and repopulate the earth. So that's where obviously sins filled the world. So we haven't had the commandments yet. But as you can see, there's exchanges that God made for anything evil that happens that will happen back to that person or people. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. I just wanted to help y'all know what was so righteous about Noah and why he was chosen, because he, after being, imagine this, all right, you were on this ark, you're Noah, let's say you're Noah and his family, and the whole time, as soon as you get off, you remember that God told you, well, you can write them down or something, that he wanted a sacrifice as soon as you get off. And what did Noah did? He made a sacrifice. So that just proves how righteous he was. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you I made this short, this 10 minutes now, but I hope you enjoyed this and I hope you have a blessed one. And I'm so grateful that you made it all the way to the end. If you did, I hope you have a blessed day. And even if you didn't, I hope you have a blessed day. Peace.